everyone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Usha. My name is Scott. My name is
Hi, everyone. My name is Deepak Varshney. I'm the CEO of Usha Resources. We're, I think, what is a very compelling case in the battery metal space. So Usha trades on the TSXV under USHA, on the OTCQB under USHAF, and on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange under JO0. Now, as I said, we're a battery metals focused company. So we have three projects. We've got the Jackpot Lake lithium brine project in Nevada. We have the Lost Basin copper project in Arizona, and we have the NiCan nickel project in Canada. Now, our flagship project is Jackpot Lake. It's a lithium brine project, which is very similar to what the only producing mine in North America, lithium mine in North America is. That's the Albemarle Silver Peak operation, also in Nevada. I think it's a very overlooked fact, right? I think today we see a lot of excitement about hard rock projects. You know, you have PMET out there. We've got clay projects like the American Lithium Project at Thacker Pass, but people overlook the fact that the only producing lithium mine in North America is a lithium brine operation in Clay Valley that's been in production since 1966. And so our project is very similar to what you would typically find in South America. It's essentially an underground lake that we believe has very strong potential in having lithium. And so for us, we're able to go out now, and we're going to start drilling next week and really get to work. And it's a very exciting time. We're going to be drilling. So we've permitted 6 holes and 2,700 meters, but we're going to start by drilling 2 holes in December and January here. And what that'll enable us to do is actually get out there and deliver a resource estimate. Now, we're able to do that because of the type of deposit we have here. Lithium brines are more expensive to drill per hole, but the capex on these projects is much lower overall. As you know, unlike a hard rock project where you have to drill, sometimes hundreds of holes in order to get to a resource estimate, lithium brines, because you are essentially sampling an underground lake, you're able to go out and with as little as 2 holes come up with a resource estimate. And I think that's a game changer, right? Because then you're on the path of production. And that opens a whole new opportunity for you as a company to, we no longer have to go out to brokers, for example. We can go out to governments. We can go out and deal with royalty companies, strategic investors. And so it's a very exciting time for us to be able to go out and drill. Now, we're able to do this because we've got an excellent balance sheet and a great cap structure. So we have 35 million shares out. And so as our last financials, just under $3 million in working capital. And so this is going to let us go out, execute on our program at Jackpot Lake, and we'll still be able to go out and resume and do more work afterwards without having to go out and raise additional funds. Now, we're doing this while simultaneously spinning out our nickel asset into its own independent company. The NiCan nickel project will be spun out into Formation Metals, Inc. So every shareholder of Usha, if it's approved, our AGM is coming up on December 16th. And we've recommended that we think this is something that would be beneficial to shareholders. If it is approved, every shareholder of Usha who will, on a record date, so let's just say January 31st, will receive 20% of whatever they own in Usha at that time as a share dividend into the new co. Right? So if you own 10,000 shares of Usha, you'll receive 2,000 shares of Formation Metals for free. You won't have to do anything. The shares will come automatically into your brokerage account. And so you'll be able to take part in the lithium story through Usha while also being able to take part in the nickel story with Formation Metals. And so, when you look at Usha today, I think that's why I started by saying I think we're a very compelling case in this market. Small market cap of 7 million, just under 3 million on the working capital from our last financials. Over 70% of the stock is owned by strategic shareholders, so that's management, insiders, people really with a long-term view of our holdings, and that's the reason why we've held up really well, I think, in this market. And so going out now to execute in a lithium brine project, hopefully to deliver here what is going to be a very strong resource estimate coming up. And so really very busy 6 months coming up. And so I'm very excited. I know our shareholders are very excited. And so if anyone has any questions after seeing this, please feel free, call me, email me. I eat, breathe, and sleep this company. And you please go to our website, download our presentation materials, do some homework, and then ask me questions, because I'm more than happy to sit back and answer whatever questions you have, so that you have an understanding of why I think Usha, it really is a compelling case in today's market. So thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me here today. My name is Deepak Varshney. I'm the CEO and president of Xander Resources. We're, I think, what is a very interesting company in some very interesting jurisdictions. And I think it's a real opportunity that's been overlooked so far on the market. And I hope you guys you see that. So, we start talking about Xander is our project. So we have a nickel project in Ontario. We have 2 gold projects in Quebec, in Fenelon and in Val d'Or. And so this really makes us, it's an interesting opportunity, because you get to participate in both the battery metals story, and you get to participate in the precious metals story. And it's, these projects are all in excellent jurisdictions with excellent neighbors. So in Ontario, where we're actually drilling today, we are right by Canada Nickel Company. And, we're really excited to get out there and start exploring this project, because this is, obviously a very exciting space to be a part of. And at the same time, we're doing work in Quebec, where we're starting to develop the story. I think it's going to be really, in 2023, it's going to be a resurgence for gold. And so with our project in Val d'Or and Fenelon, we're going to be able to, I think, come out in 23 and really participate in that, in that sector. And that's really it, right? With these 3 projects, it's just a small market cap. We have $2.5 million market cap, just under 80 million shares out. Last financials said 1.6 million working capital. So, we were able to go and execute our project. So, tiny enterprise value around $1 million. And I think it's just an overlooked story that I would encourage everyone, please go to our website, look at our presentation, and then call us, email us, ask questions. And, I think you'll come to see the same value that we feel that we have. And, we hope we're able to show to you. So please call, email, get in touch. And, I look forward to hearing from everybody.
Hi, I'm Brad Humphrey, and thank you for your interest in NiCan. NiCan is a new nickel exploration company with a solid balance sheet focused on nickel sulfide projects in stable mining jurisdictions. NiCan trades under the symbol NICN on the TSX Venture Exchange. Currently, we have 2 great projects in Manitoba in established mining camps. The most advanced project is the Wine Project, and that's in the Snow Lake Flin Flon area. The second project is the Pippi Project, and that's in the Thompson area. At the Wine Project, we completed our first reconnaissance drilling program earlier this year, which returned very impressive results, including 27 meters of 2.6% nickel equivalent, and that's around the 50-meter level, and almost 10 meters of 1.9% nickel equivalent, and that starts around only 10 meters from surface. So an excellent result from our first drilling program at the Wine property. These results are within a gabbro body where we believe we have a pod system, and over the next few months, we'll be drill testing multiple other anomalies which have a similar signature to the pods we've already intersected earlier this year. If our geologic model proves up, we could be looking at a number of high-grade nickel sulfide pods where we can build out the tonnage. Of note, this gabbro target is just one of the highly prospective targets on the Wine property, which is prospective for nickel as well as copper and PGMs. And importantly, we have the funds required to move this project forward. Our second project is the Pippi Project, and it's located just north of the world-class Thompson nickel mine. From historical data and our geophysical survey work, we believe we have the same geology that hosts the Thompson nickel mine underlaying our property. This is supported by historical drill logs, where it is noted that we have the important pipe formation, and nickel sulfide mineralization is also noted in those drill logs. We plan to drill test our geologic model on this project over the coming months as well. If our model is supported and we intersect nickel sulfide mineralization, the Pippi project has the potential to contain significant tonnage in an area with excellent nickel infrastructure. We're also funded to drill test this project in the coming months. NiCan is in an extremely strong position with a strong balance sheet with nearly $5 million in cash, 2 great projects in existing mining camps, and has a great team to move both of these projects forward. We see considerable upside in our valuation given that roughly 7 cents of our share price is cash alone. For more information on our projects or our team, please feel free to reach out to me or check out our website at nicanltd.com.
Hello, I'm Tim Moody, President and CEO of Banyan Global Resources. The company has a new near-surface copper discovery in the Iberian Pyrite Belt in southern Spain, and we've got plenty of other targets where we hope to make additional discoveries. The company's listed in the TSX Ventures Exchange, symbol PGZ, and we're on the OTC in the US, symbol PGNRF. So the company, underpinning the company's value is our La Romana copper tin discovery. It was the first target we tested in our Escacena project. We've also got about a dozen other targets that look just like La Romana, and we're only just beginning to test those. We're also located in the Iberian Pyrite Belt. This is an established mining region, lots of mines, mining infrastructure, etc. We've got, to back us up, we've got a very strong management team and an equally strong board to help take the company forward. We're also well positioned to take advantage of any other opportunities that may come our way, both in Spain but also elsewhere. The company is cash position. At our last reported financial statements, we had over 13 million in the bank. So that's allowed us to be in a good position, particularly as we go into the 2023 exploration program. So starting with a few highlights from our Escacena project. So I mentioned our first target we tested and our first holes into that target were discovery holes at our La Romana target. We've now drilled nearly 140 holes, with nearly every hole intersecting copper mineralisation. It shows a deposit with what looks to be very favourable geometry. The early metallurgical work looks very favourable as well. This looks like a potentially significant open pit opportunity. In addition, we've got a dozen other really large, very exciting targets in the surrounding area. These types of deposits occur in clusters, and this gives us further reason to believe we're going to make more discoveries in this pretty exciting patch of ground. In terms of current activities, well, we're well into a 20,000 metre drill program, which is designed to both extend and expand the La Romana discovery, but also to begin to test some of these other many new and really exciting targets. So we're well into that now. We've also got some test work underway, both more advanced metallurgy and modelling work on our La Romana discovery. So we're moving full steam ahead. As I say, we're in the Iberian Pyrite Belt. Our project is surrounded by some very big mines and development projects. The Iberian Pyrite Belt has 7 large mines with big operators such as Lundin, First Quantum and Sandfire. The area's being very actively explored. Discoveries continuing to be made. So the infrastructure is excellent. Very experienced mining workforce in the area. So it's a great place to be exploring. Further to that, we've got a very strong management team, as I said earlier. Our team has both international experience, but also very deep experience in Spain. So both from early exploration all the way through to development. So again, we're well positioned to take this company forward. Add to that a very strong board of directors. A number of the board have led successful companies, both large and small, and also companies with both exploration backgrounds right through to mining and development, but also in the M&A space, whether it be acquisition or takeovers. So very safe hands as well. So in summary, the company has a very exciting new copper discovery in a great location, plenty of new additional targets that we're only just beginning to test. So many ways for investors to win with Pan Global. The company has a very strong management team and board of directors to realise that success. And we're also got a good cash position with, we expect somewhere between 8 and 9 million as we go into the calendar year 2023. So the company's in great shape as we go forward into the new year. So check Pan Global out, our symbol PGZ on the Ventures Exchange. Thanks very much.
Hello, my name is Jason Lathkauser. I am the Chief Executive Officer and Director of Pan American Energy Corp. We're an acquisition and exploration company headquartered in Calgary, Alberta that is focused on lithium across North America, with 2 projects in the US and 1 project in Canada. For the purpose of today and the 6 Mix conference, I'll talk a little bit about our projects, the closing of a recent financing, and our pathway forward in terms of exploration. We're actively traded on the Canadian Stock Exchange under the ticker PNRG, under the OTC Pink, PAANF, and lastly, the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, SS6. Our portfolio is very diversified. We have an asset in Utah named the Green Energy Lithium Project, which is a brine asset, the Horizon Lithium Project in Nevada, a claystone lithium asset, and lastly, an LCT or lithium cesium tantalum project in Ontario. In Utah, the asset is immediately adjacent to Anson Resources, who has a JORC indicated and inferred resource in excess of 788,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent, or LCE. So we've got some really interesting data by surrounding peers that have proven out a pathway forward to recovery. That area is interesting because it has existing well infrastructure that can be re-entered and utilized while repurposing, minimizing the footprint and accelerating the pathway to sampling and testing out material. We've engaged Respect as part of our operating and infrastructure partnership, and they bring the expertise in terms of geological, geophysical, engineering, and operational execution to Utah. Moving over to Nevada, the Horizon Lithium Project, we're in another great jurisdiction, adjacent to the town of Tonopah, and some of the major peers, including American Battery Tech, Enertopia, and proximal to American Lithium. Each one of these entities has proven through drilling that there is a compelling argument for claystone mineralization in the area. The project is greenfield by nature. It has not been drilled before. And so we have partnered again with Respect to develop a 19-hole drill program built in and around testing the mineralization across a wide gambit of our property with the intent to come out of there with a resource. What's interesting about this area is the recent injection by the Department of Energy, putting a $57 million bipartisan infrastructure grant into the area to develop a lithium hydroxide and first of its kind commercial facility that is built around the intake of raw material in terms of claystone lithium. We could not be closer to the Tonopah Flats project, so we're very encouraged by the opportunity to go ahead and drill. Drilling will be taking place in Q1 with permitting already applied to the Bureau of Land Management. Lastly, we have the Big Mac Lithium Project in Ontario. This project has been historically drilled and has proven lithium cesium tantalum is available in commercially recoverable quantities. It's also compelling because historical work has qualified it through the likes of Corning for glass and acrylics applications, and we plan on advancing towards increasing the value and being able to service the battery grade market. That program is set for kickoff in 2023, and we will be utilizing an existing closure plan on the property for advanced exploration with a pathway to commercialization. Logistically, it could not be in a better region to service the Ontario market. And with some of the highly prospective yet opportunistic developments in the likes of the city of Thunder Bay, there is a great pathway for us to provide feedstock and material to that new facility. I invite anybody interested in the story of Pan American to reach out to me directly at info@panam-energy.com. Again, that's info@panam-energy.com to learn more. And my name is Jason Lackhauser. I'm the CEO. I'd like to thank Six for this opportunity to speak, and I look forward to further dialogue.
Hi, my name is Scott Petzel, and I am president of the Metallic Minerals Corporation. Metallic Minerals is a precious and base metal focused exploration company with projects in North America. Our first key project is our Keno Silver project in the north central part of the Yukon Territory, where over 200 million ounces of silver has been produced from the famous Keno Silver District. Our second key project is our La Plata project in southwestern Colorado. Based on the work of majors between the 50s and the 70s, we've been able to define nearly 1 billion pound copper silver resource. Additionally, we have a royalty portfolio of alluvial projects in the famous Klondike Gold District of the Yukon Territories. But I want to tell you a little bit more about Keno. Our Keno Silver project, we've been working and completing exploration on the project since 2016. Within the last couple of years, we've had some very successful new discoveries where we're changing the way that people will look at the Keno Silver District. Traditionally, the 200 million ounces of silver that have been mined from the district came from narrow veins that were steeply dipping and very high grade. Our work in the eastern half of the district, where the geology is essentially the same, we've been able to define a new project type or a new deposit model where we're seeing broad zones up to 177 meters wide of what are essentially sheeted veins of the same style of mineralization that you see in the rest of the district where all of the past production has occurred. So this new model has great potential for open pit possibilities or bulk mining possibilities, and we're working hard to define resources in those areas, as well as across 5 targets across the district. So exploration in 2023, we completed nearly 3,000 meters or just over 3,000 meters of drilling. Our limited budget, we applied it towards resource definition drilling, and we're hopeful to move the Keno Silver project into the resource space in 2023 if the conditions and the results are right. Expect to see some of those initial results in early 2023 from the drilling. We're excited to share those with you. Now let's talk a little bit about our La Plata project. Mineralization in La Plata was found in the late 1700s by the Spanish explorers. It was developed in mom and pop operations on narrow gold, silver, and telluride veins back in the late 1800s and mined up until the 1940s when the majors came in. They identified a porphyry deposit in the center of the district and began to drill that off over the course of 20 years. In the 70s, the project went dormant and has really not seen exploration until we picked it up in 2019. We've been applying systematic exploration, geophysics and geochemistry, and have drilled around the known Aller deposit, done confirmatory work, resampled the underground to define this nearly 1 billion pound copper resource that contains 15 million ounces of silver. We're working hard. We see that the deposit is defined only by the drilling that has been completed to date. So we're working to expand the deposit and we should have new results from that drilling in early 2023. And we'll look to announce a resource expansion sometime later in 2023 at our La Plata project. In addition, we're hopeful to explore next year on 16 potential new porphyry centers that we've identified through the work that we've done. And we're super excited about that. We've got a great portfolio package of projects to work with. We're excited to get those results out and keep this work going as we try and create value for our shareholders. If you're interested, you can find some more information on us at www.mmgsilver.com. Thank you very much.
My name is Tim Johnson. I'm the president and CEO of Granite Creek Copper. Cute picture, eh? That's my daughter watching me about to get in the helicopter and go off to work. Here, we're going to look for critical minerals, specifically copper. Well, she didn't know it at the time that's what we were looking for. All she knew that Daddy was about to get in a helicopter and fly off into the mountains somewhere. My job at Granite Creek is to help find the critical minerals that we believe are necessary to help reduce the world from its dependence on fossil fuels. As we transition to electric cars and solar and wind energy production, the demand for copper is only going to increase. At Granite Creek, our CarMax project, located in central Yukon, has over 640 million pounds contained copper. And when you add the precious metal credits of gold and silver, on a copper equivalent basis, that's over 850 million pounds. Currently, we're working on a preliminary economic assessment to assess how much it's going to cost to remove that copper from the ground and what the economics overall of the project is going to be. That preliminary economic assessment will give us a projected mine life, cost per pound to produce, and amount of pounds that we're going to produce on an annual basis. We hope that the PA is going to come around somewhere between 20 and 30 million pounds on an annual basis, and somewhere between sort of 8 to 12 year mine life. The engineers are working very hard to bring that forward. Once we have it, of course, we'll be talking to the market about it. What I can tell you today is our project's very advanced stage. It's a road access project, so we don't have to fly into it. Project itself is within 15 kilometers of hydroelectric grid power. The company, Granite Creek, has worked very hard in the past couple of years to advance this project and grow the resource based on what previous operators had. There was actually a previous economic study done in 2017, but we believe this new one will have much better economics attached to it because we're looking at the entirety of the deposit as opposed to just a small portion that the previous operator did. We're looking at new metallurgical work to show what extraction process will work best for this type of project, and we're keen to deliver those results to the market as they become available. Granite Creek trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol GCX, and on the OTC under the symbol GCXXF. We currently have 138 million shares issued and outstanding, 172 million fully diluted, and our share price is around 7 cents Canadian. We believe as the copper market improves, after we've had a bit of a dip and we've seen it start to improve, that our share price will increase along with it. We think this is an excellent entry point for investors, but we encourage you to do your own diligence. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Add our symbol to your watch list and follow along as we develop our CarMax Copper project, again located in central Yukon.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Warwick Smith, and I am the interim CEO of the Silverhammer Mining Corporation. You're seeing this at an interesting time, as I've just taken over the chief executive role on an interim basis this week, today being November 25th. It is my job to come in here to find a new CEO to fill the chief executive role, but also to stabilize the ship and push this company forward, which I fully intend to do. The company is well financed and well backed, having raised money through Echelon a couple months ago, raised $3 million with them. They've been an excellent financial partner. We have high grade assets in Idaho, right on the Idaho Silver Belt that we have been drilling and we'll have drill results on shortly. We also have two incredibly exciting assets in Nevada, right next to one of the largest and most prolific silver mines, but it hasn't been touched in a long time. An asset we need to get after and that we certainly will in short order. It is a small market cap, $12 to $15 million market cap, but with assets that can provide explosive growth. I also intend to look at additional assets for the company that can see this company grow significantly. Ron Burke is a board member. Ron is the former VPX for Silver Standard, now SSR Mining. As is Lawrence Rolston, as is Jonas Lang. So an incredibly good team put around this company as well. Lots to learn on our website, and we look forward to hearing from you and telling you more about the company. Thank you.
once or twice every century, an opportunity so great comes along for any sector. In our sector, the exploration and mining sector, the opportunity we see ahead of us is absolutely enormous. I'm Craig Parry, Chairman of Inventa Capital. I'm coming to you from an airport in Brazil as we wander the globe looking for more world-class resource projects. At Inventa Capital, we've transformed our business to focus on battery metals. The reason being the electrification of the planet and the move to more sustainable resources away from oil and gas, we think will have a massive impact on the planet over the next 50 years. And we want to be front and centre, providing those green elements necessary for life on Earth. We explore for copper, silver particularly, and all other commodities that fit within that theme. We've got a number of companies. We have 23 companies in total. 12 of those are listed. One of them is listed on the New York Stock Exchange, Vizsla Silver, which has been our biggest success as a group to date. I've had 25 years in the industry. I'm a geologist by trade. I worked for Rio Tinto for 8 years. I was involved in the discovery of a major iron ore deposit there before joining Owen Hegarty and starting the Tigers Rolling group of companies. There, two of the prominent companies we started were NextGen Energy, which we took from really a $10 million market cap to a $3.2 billion company today, and EMR Capital, where we've got nearly $3 billion US under management and $7 billion of assets under management. I'm a general partner there at EMR Capital. We've also started, I moved to Canada in 2016. We started ISO Energy, and I was a founder there and CEO of ISO Energy. We discovered another uranium deposit in the Athabasca Basin and took ISO Energy from a startup to today a $600 or $700 million company. We do great exploration work. We've got a tremendous team of geologists, mining engineers, metallurgists to advance our projects. We truly believe we're going to see extraordinary growth in metal prices over coming years. You can check out our website, inventacapital.ca, for more on our portfolio companies. But what we're trying to do here is put our foot on as much copper, nickel, silver, gold as we possibly can as we move ahead here. We've also got an ESG-focused arm of the business. Vita Carbon is aiming to become one of the world's leading voluntary carbon offset market participants, and the guys there at Vita are doing some tremendous work. Check out Inventa Capital, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks for joining in. I'm Eric Roth, CEO of Capella Minerals. We are a Canadian listed company. We do trade on the TSXV under the symbol CMIL. We also trade on the OTCQB in the US under the symbol CMILF. So what is Capella? So Capella is a junior explorer and developer. The niche space that we cover is identifying quality exploration projects, doing the work necessary to make the discoveries and to get those resources that come out of those discoveries through the initial development type studies. So that's kind of the niche space that we occupy. We're very fortunate to have a very strong portfolio of projects. Most of our efforts today are in Scandinavia, so we have a significant portfolio of base and battery metal projects in Scandinavia. But in parallel, we also have exposure to gold discovery through 2 joint ventures in Canada. So if I come back to Scandinavia, so our main focus is on copper, cobalt, zinc deposits in Norway. So people have forgotten that Norway did produce copper for many, many years, in fact, probably over 300 years until the mid-1980s. And of course, when these mines shut down, it was because of 2 things. First of all, low copper prices. And the second thing, too, was the discovery of oil. So a lot of the people that worked in mining just migrated across to the oil space. So therein lies the opportunity for us. You've had 40 years of minimal exploration in country, great potential around some of these old deposits, these old mines, for discovery of both extensions to the old mines, plus also satellite deposits. And at the moment, we are active in 4 main areas. The most advanced stage project we have is called Hesje Gruve. The next step for us there is to generate a 43101 compliant mineral resource estimate and then begin some of those initial development type studies. But in the general district, we have a nearby Shoaley project, which has drill targets ready to go, and we do expect to be drilling that early in the new year. And then down the road, we have the Locken project, where again, similar situation, we have an old mine that was in production for many, many years. We have a district scale property around it, and we have targets ready to go there for drilling during 2023 as well. So it's a really exciting portfolio. The other thing to keep in mind too, these are very high grade assets. So typically what we're chasing in these massive sulfide districts is 2+% copper with significant zinc and cobalt as well. The other thing to remember too is these massive sulfide deposits always occur in clusters. So there's a very good possibility of bringing new resources to account in a relatively short time frame. The other country we have the assets in Scandinavia is in Finland. So in northern Finland, we have a copper gold project, which basically we have some targets ready to go. We're going through the drill permitting phase at the moment. And during 2023, we should see some drilling on the priority targets. One target which really stands out for me is the Kilero target. That's an old copper gold bottom of till anomaly, and it's a real stunner. It's an amazing anomaly, and it's one of those areas that we will focus on initially. In central and southern Finland, we also have an extensive portfolio of lithium and rare earth element projects. Of course, lithium being a key commodity in batteries and other parts of the green energy transition. Rare earth elements too are critical too, because there's very few countries in the world that do produce rare earth elements today. So if you look at our Scandinavian portfolio, high-grade deposits is always the key. We have copper, zinc, and cobalt in Norway, and on the Finnish side, we have the copper-gold deposit up north, the project up north, and in the south, we have these lithium and rare earth element projects. And then, as I mentioned, we do also have the two gold joint ventures in Canada, the first of which is called Savant. We have a JV partner called Prospector Metals. The project is drill ready, and they do expect to be drilling there in Q1 2023. The second project we have is called Domain, and that's in Manitoba with Yamana Gold, which of course is one of the mid-tier gold producers in Canada. So we have this really exciting portfolio based on battery metals in Scandinavia. We have the two gold projects in Canada doing their thing in parallel. A couple of comments about Capella too. It is a team that's had a lot of success over the years. We previously were involved in a company called Usha Resources, which had the Hot Martin discovery in northeastern Turkey, a very high-grade copper gold asset, which is now in the point of being built. It has passed the feasibility stage, and the mine is in the building stages at the moment. The second discovery we had was basically with regard to the Cerro Moro project in southern Argentina. So key things, we've got a great portfolio of projects, and we've got a great team behind it. So over the next 6 to 12 months, there'll be lots of good news flow, and we look forward to keeping the market updated as we move forward. So thanks for taking the time, and I look forward to keeping you updated as we move forward.
Hi, Tara Christie, President and CEO of Banyan Gold. Thanks for joining me for this update today. We're really excited with what Banyan's achieved in 2022 with 50,000 meters of drilling, and we're well positioned for 2023 to continue to deliver value for shareholders. You know, the best way to show you why we're so excited is to show you this animation, which shows you our Ormac property and the resources we have there, the airstrip, power line, and Oryx Hill. This animation really just shows you the exploration potential we have. You know, we're located in the Yukon in the Mayo mining district, right beside Victoria Gold, the newest 200,000 ounce producing mine. We're very excited to be next to a brand new mine. Also adjacent to Hecla's high-grade silver, right on our northern property boundary. When we look at our Ormac property, it itself is 173 square kilometers, which we believe is prospective with 16 kilometers of strike east to west. With our Nitra property off to the west, this gives us over 300 square kilometers in the district. Very exciting for us as we believe there's considerable resource potential. Now, as we zoom into our Ormac, you'll see that the 4 million ounce resources at 0.6 is constrained within 3 deposits, the airstrip, the power line, and the Oryx Hill. On this resource, the gray is the $1,700 pit shell that we use to constrain the resource. Airstrip is a calcareous replacement deposit. It dips at about 60 degrees, and we believe once we drill it off, it will dip underneath the power line deposit at depth. The Powerline resource is our largest resource at 3 million ounces contained within 1.2 kilometers of east-west strike and roughly 900 meters of north-south. We believe Powerline is constrained within this resistive unit that we can see over 16 kilometers east to west. The deposit is a sheeted vein system with roughly horizontal concentrations of veins in a metasedimentary unit. The Powerline deposit also benefits from a very low strip ratio, 0.34 to 1, which means the mineralization's on surface and near surface, and we believe it's continuous with our other resource, Oryx Hill, to the east. Mineralization at the Oryx Hill zone is very similar to Powerline, with the same orientation of sheeted veins. We believe that Powerline and Oryx Hill will be contiguous, and we've drilled between both Powerline and Oryx Hill, and will continue to do that next year. We have over 50,000 meters drilled in 2022, and we've expanded the mineralized footprint at Powerline and Oryx Hill. And you can see here we've moved over 1.2 kilometers to the west and up to Oryx Hill, and even some drill holes 4 kilometers away from the edge of Powerline. We're really confident that the 2022 drilling has positioned Banyan very well to show that the Ormac asset is a tier 1 asset, has the scale to have a 6 to 7 million ounce resource on it, but also has blue sky potential beyond that for much more. The resource that we focused on was really around Powerline and Oryx Hill, but we did also step out and drill holes 6 kilometers to the east. And we can see that 16 kilometers of trend, there's a tremendous amount of area, which we want to follow up on in 2023 with more drilling focused on high grade, as well as showing that regional potential and test some of those high resistivity areas that we have both west and east of the main Ormac resource. We've designed a robust staged metallurgical program covering everything from additional bottle rolls to look at the variability across the deposit. We have those VAT tests, which are ongoing. We have just shipped samples from our 2022 program, and we'll have some more to ship once we finish cutting the core that still remains on site. We've done some gold deportment studies, so we know where the gold is hosted, and we'll also undertake additional programs looking at ore sorting, gravity, flotation, so that we can answer all the questions which will be asked. On the ESG front, that's something that we're continuing to ramp up our efforts. We had a great hot year hiring and training local First Nations, as well as other Yukoners. We work with First Nations owned businesses to supply us. We make sure we communicate regularly with the Nutcho-Nyack-Dun Lands Department and councillors. And moving forward into 2023, we'll continue to do that and even ramp up our efforts. Our major effort in the Yukon really remains with our charity, Every Student, Every Day, which works with First Nations and schools all across the Yukon and is really focused on ramping up with the effects of COVID on attendance in small communities. So what's the story? What's the real driver for investment in Banyan Gold? Well, when you look at the market out there and other companies, there aren't very many projects that have the scale of the resource, that tier 1 plus 6 million ounce resource. We're right beside 2 mines. We've got Hecla right beside us, also made significant investment in the Yukon this year, Victoria Gold producing gold just down the road. You know, our valuation is still really compelling compared to many of our peers. And we know that we're adding ounces for less than $5 per ounce. So that's really good value for our shareholders. And we're good stewards of our shareholders' dollars, making sure that we spend the majority of our effort and dollars in the ground. Banyan Gold is really well positioned to continue to advance this project, de-risk it, and add value for shareholders through 2023. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll continue to follow at banyangold.com. We look forward to more updates.